That time again. It is drinks with Dee Dee
and John
and me. I'm trying to find our little.
That's the timer. That's a cuckoo clock.
Okay, well then we're done. We hope you enjoyed today's podcast.
Using the cuckoo clock because that is where we should be today. Cuckoo. So anyway,
how many people out there actually had a cuckoo clock? Wait, we didn't toast.
Oh, let's toast.
Drinks with Dee Dee
and John.
Toast.
AP. You and me.
Victory.
Thanksgiving.
It doesn't rhyme. Jamie.
Oh, perfect. All right. You know what we're going to end up talking about? You brought him up.
No, we're not.
You brought him up.
We're drinking to friends. We have a dear friend. We're drinking to Jamie. That's all we're going to say. Who's your friend?
We can drink to Jamie Johnson.
We're drinking to Jamie.
Say why?
No, because that's what actually turned me on to the problems I was having with Facebook. Is I tried to post. Jamie had a post a couple of days ago.
That's right.
And I was trying to say, "Yay, that's great," because he was at the cash. Not the cash house, but the farm across. That's not it.
I hear the train a coming.
But that's not what you're singing.
No, this is
you're singing. Let me know when you're done so I can continue.
It's exactly.
It's
what
not.
It is.
It's different. Where's your clock?
Different. I don't know what you're talking about.
Where is your clock?
It's where the 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 12, like a clock. That's where it is. I'm not kidding.
Say something while I try. There's the clock. Okay.
Told you. See that?
Stop. Reset. Go. Okay.
In the name of love, because you break my heart.
Before you break my heart.
Okay, whatever. You know, I'm always better at the notes. I don't know about you all, but I know every note.
Yeah, but that thing you do. No. That's right. But what you do without my interference is you go bow down, 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 bow down, 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 and that's a song. No. Together, bow down now.
Same thing.
Down, 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 now is not the same as bow down, down, bow, 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 bow. That's like saying Happy Birthday and Moonlight Sonata are the same song because they're both played on the piano.
Moonlight.
No, I'm talking Beethoven. I'm not talking Starbuck.
No.
Do you know that Starbuck was the house band in a place? Gosh, it might have been called Moon Shadows, down from where I went to high school.
Moon Shadows.
That's Cat Stevens, because Starbuck was the band behind what became Steak and Shake off of Roswell Road.
Do you know where Steak and Egg started?
Is that Steak and Shake?
Yes.
No, I have no idea. Indiana,
we're all for you. I'm just saying.
So I was having trouble. All of a sudden, Facebook popped up and said I could no longer comment, for a while because I'd commented on too many things. So they were pausing my ability to comment when I was trying to applaud my buddy Jamie
Johnson
for something he was doing at the farm. Yay, Jamie! At the farm where I used to live. When I lived with Johnny and June, I lived at their house for a while, and then I guess I outstayed my welcome. No, it was
convicted by June Carter.
No, they said maybe. So I moved across the street, and I lived in what is now John Carter Cash's house and studio. Well, the studio apparently.
Caitlin for Johnny Cash. That's funny. You're Cato Caitlin for Johnny Cash. I love it.
We are the world. We are. So I lived in that place, and Jamie did this wonderful video from there, and John Carter was in it. And I was commenting on the video, and Facebook wouldn't let me. Why? Because what? Because I'm celebrating the rebirth of America. I want to know how long these people like MSNBS and all these different people, although who was it we just saw kissing Trump's ass?
Mika and Joe, and they're married. So anyway, they were co-anchors. And I have no problem with that part. Because, they met, they were working together, they fell in love, and they've been together for a while. But then
Talking about Morning Joe?
Yes. So they were totally trashing Trump forever and ever. I mean, badly, every day. And now that Trump's in, they're asked for a meeting, and President Trump took it. So,
it was thank you, President Donald J. Trump. But the thing that is driving me crazy, even about these two yahoos, is what they're tabling it like, well, we realize there's been a change, so we'll allow him to have a conversation with us. Who in the ever-loving hell do you think you are, that you are allowing Donald J. Trump, the president-elect, to have a conversation with you? No, you are praying every night. You are hoping against hope that this guy who you lambasted for years will actually give you an audience. Don't make it look like you're doing some great thing for Donald Trump, because guess what? He doesn't care. Your ratings are worse than ours.
Our ratings are great.
And our ratings in the world of what we're doing, our ratings are great. But guess what, mofo? Guess what, MSNBS? Guess what, folks? Your ratings suck. Why do they suck? Because you've been not only betting on the wrong horse, you've been holding up the wrong horse for years. You have been doing everything you could to make sure that people who were lying and people who were taking advantage of every one of us stayed at the top. Shame on you, as Roscoe would say. Shame, everybody knows your name.
What was that again? You're really good at that.
I've been doing it a very long time.
So John and I have been doing a Dukes of Hazzard.
Talk a little louder. We're only on that one microphone.
We're doing a Dukes of Hazzard.
You don't have to yell.
I'm not yelling.
We've been doing Dukes of Hazzard microphone.
Yes, and I love it. It is so much fun. It's so funny. I love Boss.
In case you haven't said, hey, Tony, would you find the opening credits for the Dukes of Hazzard? Just to remind people.
I love Boss Hogg. He's so
yeah.
funny.
Them Dukes.
They're all fun. I love all the characters.
We love the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, it's great. And then, of course, we're doing a new version of the Earls of Perry.
Inspired by, which is fine.
I've
been writing that. Got my big old board in there.
Sorry, much of luck. Nothing you can do. And, of course, Tony the Tiger, our producer in LA, is like, he could throw a baseball and hit Warner Brothers. Go ahead, because there's nothing they can do, because we're doing.
There's nothing to hit anymore. All the studios are closing.
Well, there is that. There is that.
Yeah.
So, honey, you're really ahead of your game, because you went independent early on, and now the studios are really not doing very well. If they do not a monster movie, but a Marvel movie.
Oh, a superhero movie. And by the way, why are superhero movies in vogue, or why have they been for the last 20 years? Because of Smallville. No, it's not me, but it's because of Smallville. It's Miles Millar and Al Gough. Thank you. And Al, if you're listening, I want to know if your dad wrote on Mannix. That's what I want to know.
Have you ever watched that? The theme song is so cool.
So this was a gentleman by the name of Mike Connors. He was great at Mannix. His secretary, Peggy, I think even before Marianne on Gilligan's Island, I think that was my first crush.
She's so pretty.
She's great. And then there was Emma Peel in the Avengers.
The Avengers. Oh yeah, she was gorgeous too. And she had that suit on.
It was amazing. Oh yeah.
Sort of
she was the Sports Illustrated calendar before Sports Illustrator made a calendar. So there. What were you talking about earlier?
Dukes of Hazzard.
Okay, so we've been doing a marathon of Dukes of Hazzard, and obviously Mannix, and we watched a couple other older shows. So great. Television used to be so great.
Oh, but honey, let's talk about Hillbilly Elegy.
Oh, and we saw that too. We watched Hillbilly Elegy.
So good.
Which I'm still not really sure what that means. It's not a eulogy?
It's like elegy is supposed to be sort of a poem, which means a poem, a story. You know, but I think because Hillbilly Elegy sounds so good together, I think it's brilliant. I mean, you do not forget Hillbilly Elegy. And so we watched it, and I was born in that area where J.D. Vance was born. And they start out the movie where he's having a bit of a hard time, but he loves Kentucky. He was born in Jackson, or that's where they were. And I was born just north of Hazard, between Hazard and Jackson, amazingly enough.
Is this bloody Breathitt?
Yes, that's where J.D. Vance was born. Had a terrible time. His mother had a drug addiction. You know, they beat the crap out of each other, and it was terrible. They didn't have any money. It was difficult. But J.D. Vance just got his act together, and he ended up going to Harvard and Yale, and now he's going to be vice president.
Which wasn't part of the movie, obviously, because it hadn't gotten that far.
But let me give
in
credit.
The movie, if they had, my God, can you imagine that?
But let me give credit to the people in Appalachia, and I feel like it's really important now, since remember the FEMA people just said, screw you, Appalachia people, because you support Trump. We're not going to give you any help. That's another topic, but it is connected. My point is, the people in Appalachia are tough. They're mostly Scot-Irish. They're good people. They're warriors. And they are not to be forgotten. And now that J.D. Vance is vice president, or soon to be vice president of the United States, he's one of us. Love you, J.D. I mean, I've been for Trump for 100 years. I was like the first person on Fox News. And someone can prove me wrong if they can, but believe me, they can't. I was the first person to say I wanted to
tell that story.
Well, I was on.
It's a great story. You got to hear this. You got to hear this story about it. And what? So this is 2015, 2014.
Forever ago.
2014.
Before that, even. I mean, I was on Red Eye with Greg Gutfeld. Red Eye is not on anymore. That was a show, kind of a late night. Really
Greg still is.
Right. Yeah, he's doing late night, but this was even later.
Tyrus, love you, buddy. We're going to do another movie. Okay, so what happened?
Boss Hog. He's the version of Boss Hog.
No, he was the Jackie Gleason. Where are you, you sumbitch? That's who Tyrus wanted to be in Stand On It. But I digress.
If anyone can prove me wrong, good luck, because you won't. But I was the first person on Fox News to say, hey, I would love for Donald Trump to win, because if Donald Trump wins...
Oh, to run.
To run.
Right.
No, this is way early.
Okay.
And I said, if Donald Trump runs, he will win. And they all thought I was nuts, because at the time he was doing, his reality show, and he's not even in that. Nobody's even talking about it. But I thought after Obama, this is perfect. He's a capitalist. He's so well spoken. And I thought if Donald Trump runs, he'll win. And I hope he runs. So
where did you say that?
On Red Eye on Fox News.
Okay. And what did they say when you said that?
That I was crazy. They go, what are you talking about? You're usually so smart. What? You are nuts. That is crazy. That is a nutty idea. But guess what? Hello, I was right. Because not only did Donald Trump win once, he won twice. He pulled a Grover Cleveland. And I told John early on, I said, I hope he pulls a Cleveland. And he said, what's that? I said, Grover Cleveland was the only president to win, then lose, and win again.
Non-consecutive terms. That's
right. And Benjamin Harrison, who's an Indiana guy, whose home is in Indianapolis, just up the road, he was the guy that won in between. But here we are. It is such a happy day. Because Donald Trump, who I think is amazing, and I know you do too, but I called it early on.
Right.
And that doesn't matter, except for the fact that I was like, this is the guy. This is the guy. This is what America's all about. He is a capitalist.
And he called you into his office to have that conversation.
He did.
Who he?
Donald J. Trump. Now.
Right. And what happened? How was that meeting? What happened?
It went well. No, he's like, oh my gosh, he says I look, I don't, and never, ever, ever want to put words in someone's mouth, but he was amused. We'll just put it that way. But I said, if you run, you'll win. And he said, well, why do you think that? I said, I just know you will. You are what America needs. You are what America just is craving right now. Because with Obama, he started being like socialist and wrong and not what our red, white, and blue country is all about. So I don't really talk about that much, but of course I shared it with John, my husband. And, and the thing is with us, with Trump, we don't want anything. We just support him. You get all these kind of Johnny-come-latelys. Not you, Johnny, because you were there in the beginning.
There's a new kid in town.
But these people are like jumping on.
There's a lot of fair-weather friends.
We're just so happy for our country. And I'm so happy for President Trump. That I just, it's just really a good day. It's a good time in our lives.
It's a good time. It's a good time because of all the people, this is someone who recognizes opportunity for someone who is willing to go for it. There's a difference. He's a hard worker. There's a difference between someone who recognizes an opportunity because they have a skill set. Oh my gosh, they need a mechanic down there, so I'm going to go for it. Rather than someone or some group of people who realize there is perhaps a free lunch laying out there that maybe they can go and do very little work and have very little effort and just grab it and pick it up. The United States of America is the land of opportunity. That's what it's supposed to be. Whether you're black, white, yellow, green, gay, straight, nobody cares as long as you are ready to recognize opportunity, you're prepared to recognize it, and then you have the stamina, you have the wherewithal to go for it with both hands, right? Let's go for it. That's the America we are coming back into again.
It's a meritocracy. Everyone is a meritocracy.
That's
Meritocracy.
Okay, not a mayor.
No.
Merit.
Like you get there on your merit. You're on your own merit.
Right, and when in the world did that go away? Where did the participation award come from?
It was terrible.
What the hell is that? I love, hey, Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. Right? God bless you, Ricky Bobby. So
Ricky Bobby.
Where did that go? And how in the world did anyone who ever was a child or who raised a child ever think that was a good idea?
It's not America.
How'd you do? How'd the game go today, son? I don't know. We all got an award. Well, who won? Well, nobody won. Well, who lost? Well, nobody lost. Well, guess what? That's not what life is about.
No, that's
life is about somebody is ahead, somebody's a little behind. And if you don't know you're just a little bit behind, then how are you going to know to run faster, to try harder? It's all about trying harder. It's all about having a dream, having a goal, and going for it with everything you have until you take your last breath.
That's America. That's what America was built on.
You can't do that anywhere else.
Again, the meritocracy, meaning that you get there on your own merit, on hard work and perseverance.
Right.
Because in other countries, it doesn't matter what you do, you're never going to get ahead. Not in our country. Thank goodness for Trump, because now we're going to be there. These golden years that he was talking about are exactly that. And if you work hard, if you dream big, you can get anywhere. You can do anything you want. And it's really exciting. And it's a big relief because we would have been in not that place if it had gone the other way.
Oh, my gosh. I can't imagine. If Harris had won, she would be. I mean, you see what's happening in the world right now. Already, the people who felt they could come to the greatest country the world has ever known, free of charge, have no culpability for being illegal.
No, they're bum rushing the border, trying to get in before Trump gets in there. They're bum rushing.
Well, but that's even stopped. Not stopped, but that's even slowed down considerably.
But they know after President Trump gets in, it's over. So some are trying to make it work, but
I'm sure that in those many people, those perhaps millions of people who are on the other side of the Rio Grande, there are those that are saying, okay, well, I believe that what's going to happen is going to be fair. So I have done my study. I have I am ready to go and take whatever test is required. I'm ready to go and wait however long I have to wait. It's not going to be harder to get into the United States of America 3 months from now than it was 15 years ago. Okay, it's going. People are now. We're going to have a lot of time and effort. First and foremost, and you folks on Fox and MSNBC and ABC and CBS, who are saying that, your opinion that this new administration is going to go after the low-hanging fruit, the grandmas and the grandbabies and the people who are really doing nothing wrong is so ludicrous. But that just shows that you are people who believe there is such thing as a free lunch. And you would rather have a free lunch then pay for one. And shame on you. Okay? This administration is going to go after the first and foremost, the folks who are absolutely murderers and rapists from other countries. These are the people that Donald Trump has talked about who have been let out of prisons in other countries to come and pollute our country. Those people are going first. That's going to take a while. Okay. And then who? Then the people who are illegal, who came in here, who are now taking the jobs from our legal migrants, taking the jobs.
They're just taking the benefits.
Well, there's those. There's folks who came here for a free lunch. Although, I feel bad for them because I really don't believe that even of the 21 million people who came into our country illegally, I don't think they came here for free stuff. I think they came here for opportunity. I really, really do, because they came from a lifestyle and from a world where they had to work their asses off and really get nowhere.
But a lot of them did not. I'm just saying, I get what you're saying, but a lot of people are like, hey, it's easy. They're going to give us free stuff. And let's just.
I think that was a mistake of the left. I think that the left or the Democrats made a mistake, and they thought that these people would want free stuff. They want the door prize and not have to show up for the dinner. I don't think that. Basically, I think people want to do an honest day's work for an honest day's pay.
Those people in New York that are getting the luxury apartments for nothing, and then the vets are killing themselves because they don't have any money.
But I think.
No,
I agree. I agree. That's a travesty.
Happy with it.
I agree. That's a travesty. But I don't believe when those folks got off the bus, that's what they thought they were going to get.
Some of them did.
Well, maybe some, but I think hello, there's some of them now.
Yeah. But I do understand what you're saying, because
that is a truck. I thought that was a badass Harley, but no, that's a truck with no muffler.
Around here, that happens a lot, but we like it, right?
We do. I'm just saying that people came across the water, they came across the border, they got on a plane, they got on a bus, they got on whatever. They didn't know where they were going. I think the people who purchased them knew where they were going.
It's way worse. The people.
Which is a whole other story.
We asked you on that, because it's like the people on our side of the Rio Grande that put this all together, they're really the bad guys.
Absolutely. And that is, I'm sorry, folks, that is the Biden administration.
For sure, starting with Obama. Let's always take it back to Obama.
Obama's third term, yeah.
Yeah, so the people are like, hey, if I'm allowed to do this, I'm going to do it. So I get that. I get that if you're allowed to get away with it, look, if it's terrible in Mexico or Venezuela or wherever, and you can go to the United States and Biden or Obama or whomever, they're extending the free ride on the plane, train, or automobile, they're going to do it. I mean, you can't blame them for that. But now, guess what? Now it's Donald Trump. So you either make it right. If I was someone and say, look, I want to make it right, my guess is the government would say, okay, well, let's go through the proper channels. Let's figure it out. You pay a fine, or you go through the process, you take a test, or all three, whatever it is, and you can be an American citizen. But let me tell you something. The United States of America is the best country in the world, and you must earn it. And if you don't earn it, get out. If you weren't born here,
don't come.
Get out.
Don't come.
Get out.
Well, I think there's going to be an issue right now. There's going to be a time lag, because it's going to take so much time to try to right the wrongs of our past administration, that all of those proper channels are probably going to be on hold. I don't know that there's going to be a system through which people can come in properly.
I do.
While we have to have this incredible system that is deporting millions of people. That's going to take a lot of work. Going to take a lot of work. But believe me, folks, I saw on ABC or MSNBS yesterday, they're talking about, they're going to go for these people who were born here 30 years ago to illegal parents. They are technically citizens of the United States, and they're going to go after them. No, there's no time for that. What they're going to do is they're going to go after these people who have a overwhelming tendency to kill young women while they are jogging. They are going to go after these people who do not need to be here. And I tell you what, I'm in favor of not deporting them. I'm in favor of capital punishment for them right now. I just am. Especially those who have killed police officers. Okay? And, there's the sun that's messing with my background. I'm going to fix that. Cut to Dee.
So, yeah, the Lake and Riley situations where, this was so heartbreaking where they showed them in a trial, this Venezuelan asshole, the scum.
Did you say assholes?
I did, I'm sorry. The scum, this terrible person that struggled, I think, bashed her head in, but she struggled for minutes and tried to stay alive. And my gosh, she was just jogging.
Well, her parents had to listen to that.
I know. Her parents and the whole world it was heartbreaking. So these POSs from these other countries that think they can come in and kill and rape and torture and steal, screw them. Get out. So, look, obviously I have total confidence in the Trump-Vance administration that they're going to take them out first. And they know who a lot of them are. They don't know who they all are, but they know who a lot of them are. And they go first. And they should. Look at these terrible things they've done to Americans, that they were preying on Americans in Colorado. Like think about it. And I told John this. I said, if Armageddon ever happens, you don't want to be in LA or New York because it's all like everybody's close together. It's apartment buildings or whatever. So they'll go room to room to room to room. We're here in Madison. Guess what? Everybody's got a gun. Everybody's got 20 guns. You ain't getting anywhere, mofo. Good luck. Because everybody will protect everyone else. We don't even have a state highway. Well, we don't have a federal highway. We don't have a highway. We've got the river. And we've got these state roads. So nobody's coming here. And if they do, they're going to get shot down. But if you're in New York, and if you're in these urban areas where, and a lot of people in these areas that don't have a lot of money, they go from apartment to apartment to apartment to apartment. It's easy. And that's what the Venezuelan gangs did in Colorado. And they took them over. And then the mayor's like, I don't know what to do because he's a Democrat. And the Democrats are telling them, don't report that or we'll lose the election. Well, no shit. They didn't lose Colorado, but they lost almost everything.
Almost every other state. Yep. As well they should. It's I don't understand how people think that you might have to be a little tighter, Tony. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. That was actually God. God. Thank you, Tony. I thought you were God for a moment. That was a cloud came over the sun.
I with the little G.
But I don't understand why people
with the little G.
People think that giving people free stuff is the way to their hearts. Here, I'm going to block that.
But it is.
Why is that the way to their hearts? Now, to some people it is. But the Democrats counted on the fact that was the norm and not the exception. I don't know anybody who has a dream who isn't willing to work for it. I don't know anybody except, the folks who say, I'm going to win the lottery one day. Well, I'll tell you what, there are a lot of documentaries on YouTube. I don't think anyone who has ever won the lottery has turned out well because of it.
Oddly, it doesn't work out well in the end.
No, because people take advantage of them. But I believe the norm, and I think it's I don't think it's unique to the United States, but I believe that people would rather work hard for less money than be given more money for sitting on their butts. I really do. Imagine, we're watching Dukes of Hazzard, like we said. Imagine if Bo and Luke came home and said, hey, Uncle Jesse, there's this guy down at the Boar's Nest wants to give us $100 a week. He'd say, well, what for? And we'd say, for nothing. He'd say, really? What price? Nothing. What is it he's really getting out of it?
There's always a price to that.
There's always a price to that. So it's better to want to work for something. I'm preaching to the choir. I know if you're watching this, this, but just blows my mind that the liberal media and apparently the entire Democrat Party and some, sadly, Republicans believed that the way to their constituents' heart is through free stuff. That's not what it is. The way to an American's heart, the way to a dreamer's heart, the way to someone's heart who believes that God designed them magically and wonderfully and individually to do something is by providing them with something to do. They missed it. Donald Trump has worked his ass off for his entire life. Has he had a lot of fun? Has he been a playboy and all that kind of stuff? Absolutely. But he was afforded that lifestyle by hard work. Nobody gave it to him. J.D. Vance, hard work. When we watched that, I was watching that and I thought, J.D. Vance reminds me of George Bailey, and It's a Wonderful Life.
For sure, nobody gave him anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give J.D. Vance a lot of credit.
And if they gave it to him, he would, first of all, not trust it, like Uncle Jesse. And second of all, I don't think he would take it.
Well, remember?
I don't think he would take it.
But honey, remember in the movie, The Turning Point? So he had a terrible childhood. It was very difficult. I mean, he was a good kid for the most part. Then he got kind of into drugs a tiny bit, but his mother was really...
Well, he fell in with a bad crowd.
He did. So his mother really had a hard time, and his mama, as much as she could, tried to help him. But the turning point was...
My gosh, Glenn Close was so good.
When Meals on Wheels came, she said, "Don't you have a little more?"
Oh, and he heard that.
And he heard it.
Yeah.
And they gave him a packet of Lay's and an apple. She said, "Really, this isn't enough for us. Do you have anything else?" And he heard it. He said, in his mind,
said, "That's it.
That's it.
I've had a free lunch too long.
I am absolutely going to make my grades, going to be a good person.
And I'm going to help my grandma."
Yep. And then he did. And then he ended up going to Yale and Harvard. And now he's going to be vice president.
Well, he's going to be president. I'll tell you what, my new sticker is Vance 2028.
He's great.
Vance 2028.
He saw that this was not right, and he made it right. Good for him.
Right. Absolutely. And, there are some folks that might not have, I believe that God does give you insight. And when you hear the truth, or when you see the truth like he did that day, that it changes your life. Absolutely changes your life.
Many times there are those, the universe and God, and, you get these messages of like, this is what I need to do. This is my mission. And he got that. And look where he is.
Right.
It's amazing.
Occasionally in life, and please be, it's hard not to be aware of it, but please be
open to it.
Yeah, but when God slaps you around like that and says, "Hey, wake up."
Thank you, man. Have another.
It's hard to ignore that. So when that happens to you, and it will, or may already have, and if it has, then great. Then share that with other people. But when that happens, just know nothing is the same from that point on. Nothing will ever be the same from that point on. So we've been talking about a lot of stuff. What else do you want to talk about?
Let's go a little lighter.
That's a cool hat you're wearing.
I know. So this really
got an 01 on it.
This little lovely gal in Madison, Jacqueline, literally had it sitting for me at Red on Main in a hat box of some
Red on Main, wonderful restaurant.
And
just down from Mad Love.
It's like, "Oh, we have something for you," and it pulled it out in this amazing hat that has, I can't even tell you. I wish you could see the details, but how, she works there, and how sweet is that? To think of me in that way, because, you always come in, and I love your hats, or whatever. And it made me tear up then and tear up now. I don't know why. I think because this...
She's so tough. I'm so tough.
I know. You have to have those moments. That's what makes you a good person, is that kind gestures get to you and make you who you are. So, I mean, if you're going to be tough all the time, that's no good. If you're going to be a softie all the time, that's no good either.
No, because then people take advantage of you, or they'll think they can take advantage of you, and then you let them know. Then you get to slap them around the head and shoulders.
Some people, it maybe make them feel better or help them out. But anyway, thank you, Jacqueline. But it just shows you that Madison's lovely, and they're really good people in the world. And I appreciate all the lovely comments about our podcast. People are really supportive. I just want to thank you for that.
Yeah. So what she did is she paid attention.
Yeah.
Not you, her.
Yes, she did.
She paid attention. So there's a good lesson in life. Pay attention. Don't wander around and think it's all about you, and sometimes it may be about you. Sometimes it is about you, but wander around and just kind of have eyes in the back of your head.
Other people.
Just think, what can I do today to make somebody else's day better? And, it doesn't have to be much. It could be, wow, I love your hat, right? I love your hat. Or it could be, I love your hat, so I made you this one.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be, wow, we were somewhere a couple of nights ago, and we were at Mad Love, and somebody had these great, amazing, sparkly shoes on, like disco ball shoes.
I love those.
And I looked down, I said, my God, those are great. And this woman, I mean, her child might as well have won, some sort of a spelling bee or some sort of a sports event. It's so easy to make people's day, especially in this world where everybody's, like this, everybody in most people's world is kind of a peripheral character to their phone. You can change that. You can change it right now. You should change that right now. Okay.
So speaking of being close to the people, so John and I, we've got the inauguration coming up, and we do not want to ask a single thing of President Trump or the administration or whatever. We're just not like that. There are a lot of people like, hey, I need to be on that stage and perform and give me this, give me that, give me a room. We want no part of that. And I've actually been on the transition team. I did it for President Bush. I've done the inauguration. I've done all that. And it's chaos. It's great chaos because you're doing something big and you're bringing a president in. But
part of history. You're part of
history. But John and I were talking about, do we want to just stay home and watch it? Well, maybe. We haven't made up our mind yet. But we also thought about maybe we'll take the motorhome. Because that's a big part of our life now. And, we're like talking about like different ways of the business and that sort of thing. But maybe we go to DC and we just be with the people. Like we want to be amongst.
We just want to go. She's talking about putting first of all, you're talking about wrapping the motorhome. I'm against wrapping the motorhome.
Well, we don't have to do that.
But I am in favor of making putting 2 flags. No, you had a great idea. You said it was
47 and 43, 45 and 47.
Yeah, but how did you put it? It wasn't 01. What was it?
I thought we'd do 45 and 47.
Oh, no, you said the General T.
Well, that too.
Not the General Lee, but the General T.
Or the General T.
RUMP.
Or the General T. DJT. This is what I love when our friends and audience, when they give us ideas, because you're so good. You're so smart. But the General T or the General DJT, I like that too. I don't know.
Yeah, but the General T sounds like the General Lee.
It does.
Which I think is cool. So
yeah.
It would be General and then a big T and then little RUMP for those who got close enough. But
it's chaotic.
And we'll go to campgrounds along the way. There's some beautiful campgrounds in Virginia. I don't want to take the RV into DC because
you can't. No, the campgrounds are like...
Well, but even if you could, I mean, it's the worst roads in the history of roads, for some reason, are in our nation's capital.
There will be no RV in the District of Columbia. We're not doing that.
If we got there for January 20th, we wouldn't get out until March.
No, we're not doing that. But we're thinking about... I think it'd be kind of fun to be cozy and just watch it on TV, but... If we want to be a part of it, we're thinking about we want to be amongst the people and add to the podcast, maybe do a daily podcast instead of a weekly, or we do just shots and put on Facebook or whatever because I think people they're so cute and they're so sweet and they're so supportive of Donald Trump. The muckety mucks.
And J.D. Vance and the whole cabinet, by the way.
Mucks, who cares about that? That's so boring. I mean, to go, okay, because can we totally go to the high end muckety muck? Yeah, but okay. But I think, and I've done that, been there, done that. So, but I think it'd be more fun, and John and I talked about it, and this is very much John's mindset, to be with the people, amongst the people in DC.
Well, to be with us, I'd rather celebrate the inauguration at a campfire.
Right. That's what we're talking about.
Which kills me about not being in Louisiana, because I had great campfires there, and we'd be with Bill.
Well, Bill,
we'd be with Bill, having a great campfire and celebrating that. And by the way, you're going to hear more about that as time goes on.
Because it's hard to say. Because Earls of Paris like Dukes of Hazzard, because Earls and Dukes are pretty much the same level in that world. And then Perry is Perry County, where Hazard is the county seat.
Actually is the county seat.
And then Hazard, that was fake. I mean, that's okay in the world of Hollywood or whatever. But
What?
Hazard with two Z's never
Fictitious.
existed.
Hazard was a fictitious town square.
I know this because
And by the way, if you're watching this from Kentucky,
which is right back here, by the way, this is Kentucky.
that's
right
Kentucky.
Here.
If you are watching this from Kentucky and you know of a beautiful little place, I'm checking our time, beautiful little place. I miss the dog barking. A beautiful little town that has a town square in Perry County. That's what's important. In Perry County. Please let us know. I need to know about a little town square that is reminiscent of Hazard Square, which, by the way, was Covington Square in Georgia, but it was at the Burbank Studios, which used to be Warner Brothers, and now it's Warner Brothers again. Beautiful town square that was built, my understanding is it was built for the movie The Music Man with Robert Preston.
Gary, Indiana,
Right.
Louisiana.
It's also...
Go ahead.
Thank you.
No, the rest of it.
It was also
Louisiana.
Paris, France, New York, or Rome, but it was also the location for John Wayne's last movie called The Shootist, right? Which I still need to get the rights to that damn
Oh, that's so good.
I need to get the rights to that damn book. But we need to find a place in Kentucky that is in Perry County that has a town square. Now, there's some beautiful places over here I've already seen. We went to Friendship the other day. Also, there's one of the most amazing town squares I've seen in my life.
Madison.
No, it's gosh, I would have remembered it.
Remember the Bedford one?
No, it's Waxahachie, Texas.
Well, that's far away.
I know that. I know it's far away. We need a beautiful town square in Perry County, Kentucky. Please let us know if you know of one, okay? Because I want the show to look a lot like Duke's, so much that people go, oh, yeah, I know what that is. I know what I know what that's great. But not enough that it's not a copy. It's different. I mean, I play a different kind of uncle in this show. So I've been writing it in there. I got my board up with my different beats and things. And by the way, if you're a screenwriter, if you're a novelist, if you want to write, there's a wonderful book called Save the Cat by Blake Snyder, Snyder. So check that out if you want to be inspired. It's great. There's also YouTube videos. But we need to find that place just over the river here so that we can shoot over there. And probably we're going to do post-production over here at home. I think that would be the way to go. Yep.
It's a good plan.
Yep. So we have to wait until the leaves come back. You know, it hasn't gotten cold yet. I don't know what's going on.
It's coming very quick.
Oh, it's going to be chilly. It's going to be chilly. We keep thinking we played our last round of golf, but we haven't. Yesterday we played, what was that beautiful place, Mike? Belterra, which means, beautiful earth. Anyway.
The Belterra Casino, and they've got a Pete Dye course. And we had a ball, but that was a long, big, tough course. We were tired at the end of that. We just had a little dinner.
We were tired. We were driving a golf cart. We were still tired.
Yeah. But it was fun.
It was great fun. Okay, there was something else we wanted to talk about so bad. What the heck was it?
There were several things. But people wanted us to talk about Thanksgiving stuff, which we'll do next week as well.
Santa Claus, back off.
Back off.
Back off, Santa.
We're sick of seeing it.
It's the turkey time.
In the yards, we're for the turkey first. But we are going to be in the Christmas parade in Hollywood. And there were some people that were really mean about it. I don't know why. That was crazy.
There was one person.
Yeah, that's true.
And we don't know who you are. And guess what? We don't care. We don't care.
But just so you all know.
We think we know who you are. And if you are who I think you are, I really don't care.
Yeah. So on December 1st, we're going to be in the Christmas parade in Hollywood.
Which I had done back in the 80s with Johnny Grant. in the 80s. It was so much fun. I would come off the set of Dukes to go do the Christmas parade. So it's a great honor. Have you ever been in the Christmas parade?
I have not.
Oh, my gosh.
No, it's going to be fun.
He's going to be in the Christmas parade. Did Paul ever do the Christmas parade?
I think he did.
Because he was a Johnny Grant. He was a Johnny Grant friend.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Right. Cool.
So we're going to have a ball doing that December 1st. And we're flying out to LA on Thanksgiving morning. So we'll be out there. So the night before, we're going to be with family. And we're going to have a pre-dinner. Then we're going to get an early flight because during the holidays, you want to do that first flight out. It sucks. It's hard, but you want
like 6 a.m.
But you want that first flight out because nobody wants to do it. So we'll do that. And then we get to LA. We'll get a Thanksgiving dinner out there. And then December 1st, we'll do the parade. And on December 14th on CW, which is the channel that John played.
Smallville started on the CW.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on the CW so you can all see the Christmas parade.
Oh, wait a minute. It ended on the CW. It started on the WB. That's right.
It's the same thing though, right? Didn't they?
Well, but they changed it. Yeah, they went from the frog. Was it the frog? The Looney Tunes frog.
Yeah, I sort of remember that, but I just sort of remember CW.
I think it started on the W. They called it the WB at first, and then it went to the CW.
On CW now. So it will be at 8 on.
Yes, so it has to be. It started the other one because it's not the other one anymore.
December 14th at 8 o'clock Eastern time. The Christmas parade will start. And it's fun because I've had people say, oh, I watch it every year. So a lot of people, that's just a nice tradition, kind of like how the Macy's Day Parade is for Thanksgiving. People watch the Hollywood Parade for Christmas. So it's fun.
Right. We'll be doing this.
Mm-hmm. We will.
That's what we'll be doing.
14th, 8 o'clock. And it will be a ball. It'll be great.
You know, the turkey is first. So back off, Santa. There's a picture. I don't think I have it anymore, but I actually got to close down Hollywood Boulevard to do a picture of me and the General Lee years and years ago. But that's where the Hollywood Christmas Parade is. It goes right down Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun.
So what did you do out there?
I just took pictures. I threw a 90 in the middle of the street. Might have been Hollywood and Vine, but I and then there was a photographer was doing stuff for his book, and I wanted the rights to that picture so I could use it. And I'm sitting in the window like usual, but people don't necessarily know that that's right in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard, and it's closed. You know, it wasn't just a slow traffic day. We closed it to take that picture, and that's pretty cool. There is no slow traffic
there. It is always busy.
And guess what? All of those tent cities are going to be going away. They're going to be leaving Hollywood Boulevard because we're also going to deal with that with this new administration. Right?
Yeah, it's going to be.
And again, you know, there's going to be opportunity for folks who want a job. There will be opportunity for you. So a year from now, if you're standing on a corner with a cardboard sign, you must really, really like cardboard. Okay? Because there's going to be so much opportunity in this country that if you want a job, you can have it. And if you don't, shame on you. You know, we need to have a job. We need to pull our weight. We need to do our part for our families, for our friends, and for our country. Actually, that's probably the wrong order. For our country, for our family, and for our friends.
So speaking of Christmas, Thanksgiving, you know, there's always the movies. And there were so many Christmas movies. In fact, you've done, I don't know how many, but people are talking about the one you did with Rick.
I still haven't seen it, darn it.
John hasn't seen it. We mentioned it briefly last week, but people are like, oh, Christmas in Tune. But then, and I'm not seeing any of them, but then there's Willow Creek.
Christmas Comes to Willow Creek. Great movie.
So people like that. And then
great movie. Tom Wopat, John Schneider, Hoyt Axton was great.
And then you did the album with Tom.
Yes, the album with Tom is going to be available. Maybe that's not available yet.
Cold outside.
Maybe it's because Johnny is cold outside. That's called Home for Christmas. Also, Merry Christmas, Baby. Merry Christmas, Baby. It's kind of a New Orleans jazzy sort of an album. I think you'll like that. There's Christmas Cars, which I'm sure you will like. Fun movie, very much along the lines of Dukes of Hazzard. In fact, you know, Waylon has been gone for quite some time. So the wonderful Johnny Lee Looking for love in all the wrong places. Johnny did the voiceover, did the balladeer for that. And by the way, there's going to be a balladeer in the Earls of Perry. So my question for you is, what country singer should be the balladeer in the Earls of Perry? I have somebody I'm thinking of very specifically. Sorry, I'm checking the clock again. 47 minutes. So who do you think? Who do you think should be the balladeer? And that's a person that says, well, the old Uncle Stonewall didn't know what was around that next corner. If he had, maybe he would have applied that. I don't want a wet willy. I don't want a wet willy.
It is the holidays coming up, though.
Come all this way to be back in preschool. Actually, I didn't go to preschool. I guess it's kindergarten. But who in the world would you like? Who has that kind of a voice? And yeah.
Oh, by the way.
Who do you think? What? Because they got to have an element of, a little sly, like, well, don't go to the refrigerator now. Waylon had a something in his voice. He had a secret. He had a surprise in his voice. We used Don Williams once for one of the movies. I love Don Williams' voice, but he just told the story. There wasn't, for my money, there wasn't any secret in there. There wasn't any surprise. There wasn't any shuck and jive in his performance. But Waylon, well, ain't that slick? And you could tell when he said, well, ain't that slick, that either he thought it was really slick or another time he didn't think it was slick at all. Waylon had a wonderful acting ability, I think, that people need to applaud. What?
So, maybe a week ago, I woke up early.
I woke up just this morning.
I know you did.
Sorry. Yes, what happened?
So John listens to music all night. I like it doesn't matter. A train can be coming through the room and I'll sleep. But John needs music and a mask. He's like Batman.
I am Batman.
I love you, Batman.
I am Batman.
Anyway, so I woke up.
Maybe we'll get that there.
I
am Batman. I think that was the Clooney Batman.
Oh, no.
George.
Well, that's a question. Who's your favorite Batman? I know who you're going to say.
Adam West.
Of course.
There's only one Batman.
I met him once. He was nice, but Bro Ward, I spent a little time with because we have the same.
Great dog food. If you got a big dog, go to bertward.com or Bert Ward's dog food. So anyway, what were you saying? We only have 8 minutes.
My publicist, Roger Neal, who I've known forever,
Roger,
has the same publicist, and he'll be handling the Hollywood Parade, of course, and as Burt Ward. And Burt Ward is like the nicest guy. He and his wife, they're just good people. So I hope you do buy their dog food. They're good people.
Very, very sweet.
They believe in the cause. So anyway, where I was going was that Catherine Bach, who of course played Daisy Duke, was trending nationally. She was like at 15 nationally. And I'm like, what's going on? And basically the question was like a nostalgia channel saying, who was the hottest Daisy Duke? And of course they put Catherine Bach and they put Jessica Simpson. And Catherine Bach wiped the floor with her. There may have been one person who said, well, I think they were both pretty, blah, blah, blah. But
that was Jessica Simpson, the only one who would have voted for Jessica Simpson.
Oh, forget it. It's Catherine Bach. But she trended nationally for that. So people really do still do Dukes of Hazzard. And I thought that was really great. So I sent that to Catherine and she loved it. And then you and Tom and Catherine are going to be together in Vegas in February, right? At a Hot Wheels convention.
For Hot Wheels convention. Yeah, we're going to be there.
I think it's the 22nd.
22nd of January.
Yeah, in Vegas.
No, February.
Oh, no, yeah.
February.
And it's going to be at the Ahern Hotel. And Mr. Ahern is a big Republican, big time. So the convention center's right there at the Ahern. So you're going to do the big Hot Wheels thing. So you can see them all together there. But I was proud that Catherine was trending nationally about being the Daisy Duke.
She is the
hottest
There's
Daisy
no other Daisy Duke. No.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I think it's great. Here's my question to you about Earls of Perry. Do you want it just to start like Dukes of Hazzard did, where it just was an hour show And then another, we did 5 when we first started Dukes, we did 5 episodes, and then we got picked up for more. So the notion was to follow that model as much as possible. So to do 5 episodes, or do you want a 2-hour, like a pilot or like a movie to start the Earls of Perry? I'm pretty far into writing it, but the story is really good. I could expand it to make it a 2-hour, or I could make it a really, I mean, it's going to move fast no matter what. If you saw Christmas Cars or Stand On It or Poker Run, you know that my version of Southern horsepower comedy is really going to move. But what would you rather see? Would you rather see a 2-hour show followed by a television series? Or would you rather we just jump right off the bridge and start doing a television series right off the bat? Bear in mind, we're doing this ourselves. We're not doing it with Netflix. We're not doing it with Hulu. We're not doing it with anybody. We are doing it ourselves because we know how and because we can. Okay? So, and because I really don't want somebody's opinion about what a Dukes of Hazzard-like television show should be like. I really don't. I just don't. I was there, and I think I know what it's supposed to feel like. But I don't know how long it's supposed to be. So we want you to do that. Also, please, please, please give us suggestions about topics for next week. Obviously, we have beaten the political topics into the ground. I think we're done with that. So, and, you know, unless something magical happens.
But it's historical.
I mean, it is historical. You know. Yeah, that's true. It's historical and it's hysterical. We are in very interesting times right now. But we want to keep you informed. We also want to keep you entertained. Probably that's the wrong order. We want to keep you entertained. We want to keep you informed. So let us know what you think, what you want. And I think that's it for us. Let me see. Oh, my goodness. No, we've got another 2 minutes. Go.
2-minute warning. Okay, that makes me think of basketball. That's my favorite sport. What's your favorite sport? What?
The golf.
Oh, yeah, golf's fun. Oh, John got me all these new clubs for my birthday. And so I
got her new clubs for her birthday. Callaway Apex.
Now I'm beating him.
Yeah.
You just said that.
You are. You beat me.
I'm beating him.
You beat me. On several holes. She did. She beat me.
He's had better clubs now. It's because of the clubs. It's not me, it's the clubs.
No, it's you. You're really good. She's really good at it. Because you, what records do you hold in school?
Oh, well, I did. I don't think I do anymore. But I had the long jump record in high school, and I had the relay team record, but with 3 other people because you'd run the mile relay, so you'd have to go around the track once and just about kill me. I hated it. But we did have the record.
I could see you just powering through.
Yeah, but I was the only freshman. The rest were seniors, but I was the slowest one, but I was on the team. But for long jump, that was all me. So I think it's fun. What about you? Do you hold any records?
I have no record.
No.
I have no record. I have the highest charting Elvis cover of all time.
Oh, and
I think I have more, and on the 9th, I'm going to be doing
Graceland.
The 9th of what?
January
9th will be at Graceland.
His birthday is on the 8th, so they're doing the celebration on the 9th.
Right. I can say, now this isn't written down anywhere, I can say that I have made more independent films than any other once television star. I think I have more albums than any television star turned musician.
No, that's
Although
right.
I feel I'm a musician turned television star. I mean, I really do. There's that sun again. By golly, it turned into a beautiful day.
Well,
but
that's pretty cool.
Yep. And I did put out an album. We did the Odyssey project. I put out a single. I put out a single every Tuesday for an entire year. I don't think anyone has done that before. If you want to check that out, the Odyssey project, just look up Odyssey at johnschneider.shop. Great music. And soon we will be the only couple to produce the #1 rated television show or YouTube show or internet show or whatever in the world the Earls of Perry is going to be of all time. So there.
Move over, Kelly and Mark.
Oh, they're just hired guns.
I know.
They don't do anything. I mean, they do. I'm sorry, Kelly. I'm sorry, Mark. You do work. You do show. I mean, I couldn't show up every morning to do that. But we're talking about long-form television storytelling, not just, this.
This We're better. Sorry. We is. We are.
Tony the Tiger, before she says something else, take us out, my friend. Here's to Tony the Tiger.
Love you guys.
Here's to Trump and Vance.
See you next
Here's
week.
to A&P and to us.
To the holidays. Love you, honey.
That's my breakout.